What's up, guys? This is Corsi, coming to you from beautiful Northern California. And today I want to show you where to find gold on a small creek. Now this is the creek where I pull out most of my gold. This is the creek behind my house that I mentioned in my last video. So let me show you. So let me give you some information about the creek. You can see farther up there, behind this branch, there's a large slide where it's just dirt. The slide comes up to about right here. Now there was gold in that slide and it slid down into the creek. Now you see how it looks like the creek just stops? It's because the creek turns that way very sharp. And all this white water here is caused by the boulders that came down out of that, and also that your ground level has dropped. The ground level's dropped 5 to 10 feet right there. And then after it drops down here, it gets deeper right up along the bank there, slows down, and then you can see there's a nice little gravel bar right here. And then it just slowly corners and then keeps going straight for a while. Now, I only have the ability to prospect out to about right here, and then up to about that boulder right there. So, let me tell you where to find gold in a creek. So, now that you know the information that you would need to know about this creek, let me tell you where it is. So, the gold came out of that hill, it came down, stopping, you know, kind of being sprinkled along the banks here. Now, the creek corners a little here. Usually, as a rule of thumb, you always check the inside corner of your creek for your gold. So, I went through and I prospected this area in here, and then the gravel bar that I'm standing on right now, because that's the inside of the creek. But, although there was some gold there, that was actually not where the most gold was on this particular creek. Actually, on that side of the creek, you can see that little area right there where there's no green. I prospected that, and that is actually where my pickers came from, was right there. So, a couple things you need to watch for when you're out prospecting. You want to watch for your ground level dropping and then calming down. You want to check right there on the inside bend, or if it's a small creek, you can check the outside bend also. You want to look for big slides and then prospect right downstream from them. You want to look for big boulders like that one there. Like if you were to prospect right behind that, or even if it was up on the bank a little bit like that one there, what happens is when the water is rushing over it, it creates a suction right behind it. And the black sand in your gold is suctioned behind that rock. So definitely check those areas. So, you know, if I were to come prospect this and be first testing it, I'd prospect behind each of those rocks, those big rocks, along the bank, the gravel bar that I'm standing on, right in there. I'd want to lure in the creek, because every creek is different. No creek is exactly the same. So, like this creek, although it has some on the outside bend, or the inside bend, it actually has more on the outside bend than the inside. And that right there, that little area there, that's actually where I found my pickers that I showed you in my last video. And most of my gold too. So that's a good spot there. Now, I prospected from about that boulder there down to here. Now I found that the gold tapers off right here, and you don't have much gold up along this right here. Now I've never been able to get down deep in there, but there may be gold right in along the ridge, or the seam right there. So, a couple things to remember. Ground level, slides, inside bend or outside if it is a small creek. And one more thing is you want to test pan 10 spots. So, if I were going to come and test this creek, what I would do is I would test over there, I would test over here, I would test in along this gravel bar, you know, right behind these little boulders here. Actually, I would test up in this area, see where all this driftwood has been piled. I would check beneath that. I would check down the creek a little bit more. I would check in the seam. You want to check everywhere. You want to check at least 10 in the same general area before you leave. That way you can know for certain if there is gold or if there is not gold. You don't want to just make a lucky pan and then come here one day, spend all day and not find anything. You want to actually know if there is more gold here or if there's not really anything here. So, this is the creek where I pulled most of my gold out. Now, if you want to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel. Also, comment below on what it is you want to learn about. So I can do videos on gold prospecting, bushcrafting, hiking, backpacking. I could do more of a sports video where I do basketball or football. I can do my channel on almost anything. So comment below and tell me what you want.